they before him had done, he visited the great library of Osamu. There he met a young woman by the name of Misaki, who cared for the great scrolls and tablets. Misaki seemed different from anyone Ichiro had ever met. She was beautiful, yes, intelligent, yes, but what most fascinated him was that she seemed not of this world and yet possessed a wisdom for years. Each day, for 7 days, Ichiro would go to the library and spend all of his time with Misaki. All the while, Misaki did not know that he was king. She believed him to be the son of a wealthy merchant, for he was dressed much the same. When the king returned on the 7th day, he revealed to her that he was king and said,
There's so much in this world. There's so in my heart and my head. I know this is just as foolish, and I know you might not like I am. But I knew the moment I saw you, that you stood with this gold in your hand. As it holds your poetry and prose, your morning, your night, your earth and air and light. And I love you, and I want you, and I promise I will never let you go. So please tell me, so Misaki, for me the truth that your feelings grow. Our world will be delight, filled with magic and with light, so perfect and so rare, there'll be music in the air. Yes, I love you, dear Chiro, and I promise I will never let you go. In the short time I've known you, deep inside my feelings grow. So what do we do? All I think about is you. You're my morning and my night. You're my earth, my air, and light. Love you,
promise me one thing.
anything.
Promise me that you'll remember that there are things that are beyond our control.
I do not understand.
All cannot always be perfect.
What do you mean?
When storms rage, it's not always the biggest and the strongest oak that survives. More often, it is the slender and graceful willow which bends and sways in the winds of the storm.
I promise I'll remember, but you will see, all will be perfect.
Oh, there was something which I have forgotten to tell you. On their wedding day, the king was to give his bride a golden necklace which held the rarest of pearls. Ichiro's mother had received this precious gift from her husband when they had wed, and so it was his mother's wish and gift to Ichiro to present it to his bride. Now, unlike other pearls, this one had formed so that it resembled a rose at the height of its bloom, and all who looked upon it were made breathless. Moreover, there was a curious legend connected with it. Let me explain.
It was many years ago in this ancient land. Man made a chain of gold, every link by hand. There on this golden chain was a pendant rare with a pearl like a rose in bloom, delicate
her, he shared the story of the rose pearl necklace and told her that she, like the necklace, was a beautiful blossom. Misaki agreed to wear the necklace, for she could see that it was more than a necklace. It was a symbol of her husband's affection. So she wore it always and never adorned herself with another jewel. It was not long before a second joyous event took place, the birth of their daughter, Princess Kamiko. Ichiro's heart was filled with joy, and he felt he was truly blessed, for his life was without flaw, just as he had always wished it to be. But his joy was to be short-lived. A terrible plague had begun to sweep the land. Many were sick and many died. The disease then spread to the palace itself. Queen Misaki was the first to contract it and the first to succumb. So consumed with grief from the passing of his wife that each night his cries of suffering could be heard echoing through the palace. Soon after, Ichiro's mother and father, being old and frail, also succumbed. Now at night only silence was heard. The king fell into a well of despair. He no longer cared for anything or anyone except his infant daughter. To guard her from the plagues and the evils of the world, he closed the palace off from the city.
No one shall come or go from this palace.
And then an idea, shaped by the great fear that he carried in his heart, came upon the king. He would not only protect his daughter, he would create for her a perfect world. Never would she experience the grief and despair that he had known.
And all shall be made perfect for Kamiko.
With the princess never suspecting the illusion that was her life. And each day, just as Ichiro's father had done with him, the king would sit in the garden and hold his daughter's hand. One day, while sitting in the garden, the young princess, now but 5 years of age, saw a brightly colored songbird tending her young. She wondered what would become of these delicate little creatures when they grew older. She turned to her father and quietly asked him,
Father, what will become of these creatures when they grow older?
When they are old enough and strong enough, it will be their time to fly from the nest and live on their own.
This puzzled the little princess, so she turned to her father and asked,
When will it be my time to fly?
Your time to fly? Never! We'll speak of this no more!
The little princess was again puzzled, but did as her father instructed. She never spoke of it again, although she never forgot it. And so 10 and 1 years of harmony and walks in the garden passed,